The Kangra Valley Railway is a Himalayan mountain railway in India. It is located in the sub-Himalayan region of Kangra Valley and covers a distance of 164 kilometers from Pathankot in Punjab to Joginder Nagar in Himachal Pradesh. It is the last of the narrow gauge lines to be built in India by the British and is also one of the least known. It doesn't service any hill station in particular, and its biggest station, Palampur, Himachal, located at Maranda, is 10 kilometers from the main Palampur town. Its principal patrons are the local villagers. The line doesn't boast of many spectacular tunnels or bridges. It's just there as part of the landscape, but a breathtakingly beautiful landscape. Kangra Valley Railway is among the engineering masterpieces of the Indian Railway. The difficult mountain terrain involved the bridging of ravines through which flow the mountain rivers and streams. Some of these are really fantastic in terms of construction. The Batu Bridge, for instance, near Ranital, like most other bridges on the line, makes a spectacular curve over the river below. The temple at the base of the bridge adds to the dramatic scene when a train runs over it at a leisurely pace. The Rayon Bridge near Kangra town is a beautiful arch bridge on the line. While traversing the 164 kilometers between Pathankot and Joginder Nagar, the track ascends at a maximum gradient of 1 in 25. Crosses over 993 bridges. Runs through 2 tunnels and winds through 484 curves. Although originally planned to carry heavy freight over mountainous terrain, the line has been constructed skillfully to present to the traveler a chance to gaze on the ever-present panorama of snow-clad ranges and green fields. The train is perhaps the best way to enjoy the beauty of the Kangra Valley. The Kangra Valley Railway is a 2-foot 6-inch narrow gauge system. Trains on the line are hauled by ZDM-3 or ZDM-4 class diesel hydraulic locomotives. The more powerful ZDM-4 class is a 700 horsepower locomotive with a top speed of 50 km per hour. However, being a narrow gauge railway on a mountainous terrain, Indian Railways maintains speed restrictions on the line, and the average speed is about 19 kilometers per hour. Measurements with satellite GPS showed that the train had a top speed of 30 kilometers per hour. Like the other narrow gauge railways of India, the rolling stock are joined with center buffered Norwegian couplers. Trains on the line were originally hauled by steam engines. One engine has been restored and has been used for special runs on the track. The Kangra Valley Railway uses a single line system. Sidings are provided at stations where trains from opposite directions can cross each other. The line employs vintage semaphore signaling that are operated using mechanical cables. Traffic is controlled using block systems based on the Niels token exchange system. Token is exchanged between drivers and station officials at stations to indicate that the block ahead is clear for safe movement of trains. Unlike the rest of Indian railways, where switch points are controlled from separate control towers such as this one, on the Kangra Valley Railway, levers controlling the switches are in station premises on raised platforms. Narrow gauge trains in India have been lovingly called toy trains. This is, however, a misnomer for the Kangra Valley Railway. The line was planned to ferry heavy equipment to the dam and hydroelectric power station site at Joginder Nagar. Construction on the line began in 1926 and the line was commissioned in 1929. Construction costed 30 million rupees and the line was closed within 10 years. The colonial British government uprooted the tracks and shipped them to Britain to supply for the Allied war effort. Uprooted sections were rebuilt by the government of independent India and reopened for traffic in 1954. Apart from realigning of tracks to make way for the Pong Reservoir, the line has been in operation since. Most passengers on the line use the service because it's cheaper than the bus. Traveling the entire length of the line costs just 30 rupees. Some rakes on the line may have a single first-class car, but you can never be sure which rake the first class would be on. Unlike the Kalka-Shimla railway, where the passengers spend most of the time going through tunnels, the Kangra Valley railway line gently meanders through a maze of hills and valleys, offering the travelers enchantingly scenic views. The entire route commands glorious views of hills, meandering streams, agriculture fields, and pine forests. After crossing Pathankot, the journey is rather uneventful up to Jawanwala Shahar. The grand spectacle of Kangra Valley begins unfolding after the train crosses Jawanwala Shahar. Hillocks rise on both sides, and as the train moves over the innumerable bridges built across meandering streams, the Dauladar begin to gain in prominence. The railways operate 6 services each way on the route. Out of these, only 2 services go through up to Joginder Nagar. The remaining services end at Bajnath Paprola. Plenty of activity takes place at Bajnath Paprola station. As passenger traffic to Joginder Nagar is scarce, and also to tackle the steeper gradient, the rakes are truncated to 4-car trains in the up journey. In the down journey, 2 cars are added to trains coming from Joginder Nagar. To complete this operation, both up and down trains are given an extended halt at Bajnath Paprola station. The stretch between Bajnath and Joginder Nagar is the steepest section on the line. Here the train is slowed to a crawl until it reaches the highest point on the track at Ajju. Ajju station is at a height of 1290 meters. Maximum permitted speed in the section is a mere 8 kilometers per hour. The Dauladar Himalayan range rise up 13,000 feet from the valley floor. The wide Kangra Valley, with its well-watered terraces, is a sight to behold. As the train inches on, passengers can savor the open countryside and the shining white peaks. The Kangra Valley offers adventure, spiritual and culinary treats to tourists. Ajju station on the line is the alighting point for paragliding at Bir-Billing. Several ancient temples are situated in close proximity to the railway line, such as this 12th century Shiva temple at Bajnath. And Palampur is home to the world-famous Kangra tea. Tourists can visit the tea gardens, and Kangra tea can be purchased straight from the factory. The popular hill station, Dharamshala, is a short drive from the railway line. Dharamshala is also home to perhaps the most scenic cricket stadium in the world.